Hardest name in music to say fast is something that Teen Jesus and the Gene Teasers have been told over and over again. And when I started the show, it was met with bloody nothing.
Maybe I will cut that bit out so you just sound like a madman here.
Just absolutely chatting to the voices in my head.
We did catch up with Anna from Teen Jesus and the Gene Teasers. You did point out the tongue twister level of their name, but we cover a lot. First of all, this was recorded on Halloween, and poor Anna was getting ready to go out as Hannah Montana, and we just sort of...
Poor Anna was... Yeah,
I was just rapping my way through that verse. Poor girl was just absolutely getting slammed by me being like, can you just answer some questions here?
Yeah, she was having a few beers. She was getting ready to go out to a party. And you were just like, so when we really strip back your recording process, are you going A, B, A, C, A, or are you going like A, B, A, B, A, B? Or further to that, what is your thought process on Australia's involvement in the North Korean missile crisis?
Exactly. And so, yeah, look, they've just dropped their new album, Glory. It's actually out today, the date that we're dropping this. So go, after you've heard our interview, go listen to the album. It's very good. Love this new album from them. So, yeah, let's get into it. I think you might lead this one off. So, Sam, I'll throw over to you.
Maxwell, you just rinsed me to buggery saying that this Halloween I'm dressing as Dom Dollar and I haven't put a thing on. But joining us on the line as Halloween approaches is Anna from Teen Jesus and the Gene Teasers. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Good to be here.
I have to say, I panicked before the show trying to just ensure that I could say your band name quickly. It is incredibly difficult to say fast.
That's why you just got to practice every day in the mirror.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
It's a good vocal warm-up. I might do that whenever I have a presentation and a podcast from now on. So
Perfect.
Gene Teasers.
Perfect. It's a tongue twister.
It is. But look, we start the show the same way every week with every guest, and that is to dive into your playlist and get an idea of what you're spinning lately.
Oh my God. That's a big question.
It's always the hardest question we ask everyone.
Oh
and they're
God.
like, you haven't prepped me. This is crazy.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a bit of a freak. I don't really listen to a lot of... No, cut that out. No, I do. I just I'm one of those I think I'm just like a bit of a dad. I get in the car and just put on the radio because I can't be bothered to do the whole I've got one of those really old Bluetooth things in my car. So, whatever's playing, it's good.
Whatever's playing.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we've all sort of been launching into there was a playlist that we had on Spotify. I joined one for our DJ set ages ago. That was just a bunch of 2000s bangers and stuff. So I feel like I've launched back into that a little bit, but I don't know if I've listened to much real what's happening in the moment music.
The 2000s weren't real. It was all a dream.
No, that's a lie. I've been rinsing the Bel Air lip balms recently because they've been releasing an album, or maybe have released the album by now. I don't know. They've definitely released a couple songs off of it, and they are so good.
They have been. A lot of the singles they've been dropping are excellent. So yeah, you're
so
right.
Good. And I literally
it's
we've all loved them for ages, but I'm feeling this is going to be a good year for them. It's definitely it's awesome.
Everything's coming out Bel Air lip balm this year.
Yeah. Forget Teen Jesus. Let's not talk about them.
Well, let's talk about Teen Jesus, hey?
Perfect segue.
Your second album is Glory. It's out now, and so first things first, congratulations, which is awesome. Thank you for the round of applause, Sam.
It's okay. Sorry, I realised I had a ruler in my hand. That looked really weird out of context.
We hear that the album was largely written across the Pacific in LA. I suppose when you're completely removed from your regular lives, when you're in a completely different environment, how does that change the creative process for you guys as a band?
I think we only did maybe like one or two songs over in LA, but yeah, it was crazy. I think we did a lot of writing a little bit out of the comfort zone this time. Like we did a bunch of writing sessions with other musicians and stuff, and yeah, just tried different techniques with it, which was like, yeah, it was new and exciting for us, and we had a great time writing all the songs for the album.
You weren't like, walking around LA being like, we need to head to the Koreatown nightclubs all the time.
No.
That's a smart move. I like that. Compared to the first record, Glory sort of leans more into a lot more of the tight harmonies and a lot like very, very catchy hooks. So some of the catchiest hooks that we've heard you guys drop so far. You're still getting a lot of the punchy kind of, fuzzy guitar as well, but there's nothing quite as raw as, say, like Cayenne Pepper off the first album. What was behind that sort of lean into the hookiness on this Go Around the Block?
I think like, I don't know if that was like super intentional. I think we're all just like really, like, what's the word, if you will, locked into like the vibe of what Glory was going to be. Like we had like an obscene amount of demos to go through because we were writing ever since like the last album basically. And so we sort of like, everything that's on this album feels really like cohesive and intentional compared to like, well, not we can't compare our two babies, but but compared to I Love You, where it was sort of like a little bit younger and like we were releasing music that we'd been sitting on for years and years, and like some songs were written when we were like literally baby teenagers. So this one was definitely like a lot more like purposeful, I guess.
One thing we do like to chat to artists on specifically when they drop an album is what sort of music they were listening to that potentially inspired subconsciously the sound going into the studio. And to us listening through the album, there's a lot of 90s sort of grungier sounds in there, and then you've got some more polished like pop punk sounds. Were you guys listening to, inspired by sort of different artists or records when you were pulling together?
There was definitely, I mean, we always are, I guess, like that's just how it goes. But there were some songs like I think Bait where we were sort of trying to write it a certain way. So we were like, oh, what can we base it off or whatever. And I think what came up was like LCD Sound System or something like along those lines. It's like a little bit more electronic or something. We were just like very like experimenting with what we like. It's not usually what we would write, and I think that was the thing of like trying to get out of this, like, I don't know, not putting ourselves in like we're a punk band or a rock band or whatever, like just letting the album be whatever it is and trying everything.
You've mentioned before that thematically a lot of the songs touch on banding together against shit blokes, especially within the industry. A huge standout on this record are sort of the gang vocals that punctuate so many of the songs. Is it a little bit too grade 12 English of me to sort of assume that there's a correlation there? Is it just a happy coincidence, or is there a literal interpretation on the album?
I think whenever we're in the studio, I'm singing all the time. I think it's like so nice to have all of our like voices in there. Even for, I think Bait, all of us did a full melody vocal take the whole way through. Like it's not just me. And I think we just were, I don't know. I think it sort of, you can hear a bit more of our like character and stuff with it, which is really nice. I don't know. It wasn't super intentional, but I think it like did what it had to do.
When you said you guys all tracked vocal takes for a lot of the songs, or at least for Bait, as you said, was there points where kind of you were all talking about, you know, who's going to take lead vocals in various parts of the song, various songs on the album, or was it all kind of like, this is mostly just to see how we can stitch things together to give that gang vocal effect?
Yeah, I think, for each song it was a little bit different. Like the demos sort of that we had created, they were all pretty like gang heavy. And I think we always like to do a lot of voices, a lot of gangs and stuff, because it does show like little bits of each of us, which I think is really nice. But for like lead vocals and stuff, I mean, I usually like, you know, sing them all, but for Mother, I remember Scarlett had sent us all the demo that she had done of it, and I just like really loved how it started with her vocals, and like, well, she was singing the whole thing on the demo, and I was just like, there's something about it like that I just felt like I couldn't recreate, and it was just so nice that like I was like, oh, what if you just like sing the first part, and then when it like picks up, I come in and we're singing together, and then it's like a bit of a journey, I think. Like, it's quite nice to like hear the difference in all of our I don't know, tones and stuff. So, and like I've literally tried to sing that song, and it's like way too low at the start, so I'm so glad she's able to do it.
Scarlett wrote it originally. She was like, Anna's not going to handle this one.
Like, sucker. No, it's so good. It's like my favorite song on the album because of just, I don't know, there's so many fun little bits in it.
In the recording process, it also sounds like you guys were kind of given the freedom to throw out ideas that you didn't feel like were fitting in with how you were kind of putting the album together. From memory, I suppose, were there any standout pieces of gold that you felt like could have made the album that, you know, might come back in a future form somewhere that were just so close but didn't quite get the vote from the band?
Oh, it's so weird, like, because we had so many demos for this album that we went into the studio with, and then we sort of had to narrow it down. We're like, okay, so we have like like so many. We ended up like doing we all picked our favorite like 15 songs from all the demos, and then we like sort of hold it up and see what, like, you know, what we all loved and whatnot. And then we sort of like got in there and we're like, oh no, now we have to like bring it down again to like the 10 songs that are going to be on the album. And so that was really tricky, and I think it was interesting because there's like some songs that we were certain like were going to be on the album. Like, we had, you know, envisioned how the music video would go, like all of the, you know, styling and stuff for each song. And then like the one that we had envisioned as our like lead single for the album didn't even make it on the album. So like stuff just like shifted, you know, just as we like played it out in the studio. And we just sort of felt like there were some songs that like really, you know, meshed well together, and then there were some songs that were just like, oh, maybe this is a little bit more like older us, like maybe from the last album or something that didn't quite fit. But you know, we always keep those songs around, and we all still love all the demos that we've done, so it's good to just like have them and, you know, put it in the back pocket.
When you are making a decision on songs like that you all think, you know, this is it, this is our next single, who makes the call to chop it? Is it a group decision? Do you feel like one person leads the way?
Yeah, so it's hard because it's like when you write a song, like you're all really like emotionally connected to each song, or like I remember there was one song that I had written and I was like, oh, I really love this song. But it's like, it's not really about if you really love the song. It's like about the whole piece, like the whole thing. So we sort of just like played through like the album or whatever and just see like we just saw like which one or two or whatever maybe were just not quite fitting in. And I guess we all it was pretty obvious, like, which is like, oh, you can be like, oh no, I really want that one in, but it's like, even I was like, oh, I do like that song, but it just doesn't quite fit. Like, I think, and also like Catherine, who, was the amazing producer on the album, she was incredible, and she was just like, this is how it is. And she was really honest with us, and we all really trusted her as well. And if she was like, look, there's elements of this song that are great, but maybe we can chuck something like that in another song. We can, Frankenstein a little bit. And it's not like we're losing a big part if we get rid of like something. Like, it all ended up being like exactly how it was supposed to be, which was, it's awesome. I wouldn't change it at all now.
Yeah. Well, at least it all ended up, coming up Millhouse. So that's a win. Alongside the album, you've also announced that in May you'll be heading on the road for the Glory Tour around Australia and New Zealand. Whenever a band's releasing a new album, they're road testing new songs at shows. How have you found that the new material has gone, with crowds so far?
Oh, it's so much fun. I think like that's always like my favorite thing when we have new music is just like, it's good to get it out, but my favorite thing is to just like imagine how it's going to be playing it live. And we have like played a couple of the songs already, and it's so much fun. Like, and everybody's like loving it as well. Like, I think when we first played Mother for the first time, it was like, I could see in the audience, people were just like, what the hell is going on? This is not the Teen Jesus we know. And then they were like getting really into it. And by the end, everyone's just like having the best time ever. But yeah, it's so much fun. And like we're really excited to play all the songs because it's new and exciting for us, but we just also want everybody to like feel the stuff that we feel towards the album.
Have you found that there's like a surprise track that now that you've played them live, you're like, oh, I like this a lot more than I thought I would in the studio, or maybe that you don't like it as much as you thought you would when you were playing it live?
No, I feel like, because we were going crazy in the studio. We were just putting shit in wherever, like, and just whatever was working and layering and doing crazy synth sounds and stuff and guitar pedals that we wouldn't ever use before. But there was like a moment of worry with all of us where we were like, these songs sound amazing. Okay, how are we going to play them? Like, oh my God, this is great, but how can Scarlett become 15 guitarists? Like, but like, we were kind of surprised, like, how well they did translate to live, which was awesome. Like, it didn't feel like it was missing anything, and like, yeah, I hope that's how it is for all of the songs. I guess we'll find out in rehearsals next week.
There's only one way to find out, right?
Yeah.
And then as we talk, you guys have just come back from America from the Austin City Limits Festival. And then in the not too distant future, you'll be gearing up for Laneway as well, where you'll be playing around the country. I suppose for us lay people in the crowd who get to sit and enjoy the show, what's it like, as an artist, what's the key difference between, say, like a Texas crowd and a homegrown Aussie crowd when it comes to a festival show?
I feel like when we come back from overseas, like, you can tell a bit of a difference because like Australian crowds, they've supported us since we were like little babies, and they've known like how we are and stuff. So there's always a little bit of a like oh, they're super supportive of us, but it's also great like being overseas and seeing in people's faces that haven't heard us for before, and going like, oh my God, what? Like, this is actually like, all right. Like, that's my favorite thing, when I can like spot one person in the crowd that maybe like wouldn't listen to us, and then they go, okay, you know what? Hell yeah.
The satisfaction of winning them over.
Yeah.
Look, before we let you go, a massive get for you guys was hopping on the support slot for Pearl Jam. When they were down under last year, I don't know. Did you grow up listening to Pearl Jam? Like, was it a bit of a full circle moment for you?
It was actually crazy. I was like telling the rest of the band about how when I was younger, like obviously like my family loved Pearl Jam, like everybody. It's like my uncles, like their favorite band ever. Like I remember them like as my family is all quite musically inclined, I guess. And they like would grab a guitar and the first song that they would play would be a Pearl Jam song. And I was like remembering like singing those songs with them when I was little. And it was crazy, like being side of stage, listening to that same song and having that memory attached where I was like, what is going on? Like, this is too much. And I think there's footage of me somewhere just like being side of stage, tears streaming down my face because I was like, I don't know what's going on, but it's too much. But yeah, it was incredible. We had the best time ever.
It's always hard to tell with massive tours like that whether, you know, the support acts are going to get to actually interact with, you know, someone as prestigious as Eddie Vedder. Did you happen to...
It's crazy.
You know, did you happen to meet him? Did he offer any advice? Did you, you know, get to cross paths with your family hero?
Yeah, he was such a legend. Like, he was so cool. Like, even the first shows we played, like, in Australia with them, like, the very first show that we were supposed to play was the Gold Coast one, but our set got rained out, like, and there was, like, thunderstorms and stuff. So we weren't able to go on. And we were all really disappointed, but, like, you know... just what legends they all are. And like he had like handwritten us a beautiful note saying how sorry he was and putting like champagne in our green room and just like the next show he fully came on stage and like introduced us and like gave me a hug and was like talking us up and getting everyone to come in closer and stuff. And then he did that the next show. He like came on in the middle of our set and he was like, I'm so sorry I'm late. Like, because I'm like, don't apologize. You literally could be doing anything else. Like, you've got much better things to be doing than like coming on to introduce freaking Teen Jesus. Anyway, yeah, he came on, interrupted the set, which was a pleasure, and just said the nicest stuff about us. And then I think it's just so nice when, you know, because like he doesn't have to be a nice guy, he's like he's a freaking rock star, like, but he was just like the most genuine, like really cared about us and cared that, you know, people watched us. And he even watched, like, he said that he watched us when we were getting nominated for, when we were at the Arias, and he watched our whole like speech and everything. And it was just like, he doesn't have to do all that, but he does because he's the best. So wow. He is such a sweetie and we love him very much.
You did have the perfect opportunity to really alpha dog him and be like, Eddie, this is the middle of the set, mate.
Yeah,
on,
sorry.
a bit of fucking decorum.
I'm trying to, it's because he said to me, he was like, do you mind if I take the mic for a second? And I was like, it's yours, babe, take it. Like, imagine if I was like, no, I'm sorry. I have to,
sorry, Eddie.
We're running behind a little bit. I've got to get through these songs. So if you wouldn't mind. Oh my God. That would be insane. Huge move.
You got to respect that.
Insane. Anyway, it was awesome.
Well, Glory is the second record from Teen Jesus and the Gene Teasers. It's out now, so tune in and listen to it wherever you get your music. Catch them live across Australia and New Zealand with shows at the Laneway Festival in February, then headlining in Adelaide, Perth, Brisbane, Melbourne, Sydney, Christchurch, Auckland and Wellington between the 1st and the 23rd of May next year. Head to teenjesusandthegeneteasers.net for more information and the tickets closest to you. Hannah Montana, thanks for joining us on the show today.
No worries. I took it, out of my busy pop star Hannah Montana schedule to chat with you guys.
It was, look, I couldn't have asked for any better Disney stars.